The Dictionary of Real Estate Appraisal, page 132, Chapter L continued. Limited partnership. An ownership arrangement consisting of general and limited partners. General partners manage the business and assume full liability for partnership debt, while limited partners are passive and liable only to the extent of their own capital contributions. See also general partnership. Limited service hotel, a lodging facility that offers guest room rental only with limited services available. Limited service restaurant, a restaurant facility designed to accommodate operations with a limited servicing staff. The layout typically includes ordering or buffet line stations for customers. Limiting condition. See assignment condition. Linear right-of-way. See corridor. Line of credit. An agreement between a lender and a borrower in which the borrower can borrow up to a certain maximum amount of money from the lender without a formal loan submission. The borrower then has available a quick loan service without the delays of a credit review. Although the line of credit is usually reviewed periodically, lines of credit are usually used by banks for their most reliable and credit-worthy customers. Line of sight easement, a right that prohibits using lands within the easement area in any way that obstructs the view of some distant area or object, also called a view easement. Linkage. Number 1, time and distance relationship between a particular use and supporting facilities. For instance, between residences and schools, professional services, shopping, and employment. Linkage number 2, the movement of people, goods, services, or communications to and from the subject site, measured by the time and cost involved. Linkage number 3, in land use planning, a positive or negative relationship among various land uses. See also complementary properties. Liquid assets. Assets that can be immediately converted into cash and are immediately available to pay debts, also called quick assets. See also fixed assets. Liquidated damages. An amount to be paid for a breach of contract, agreed upon by the parties in advance. Liquidation. Number 1, forced or voluntary cash realization, the selling of real property, stocks, bonds, or other investments, either to take profits and limit losses, or in anticipation of declining prices. Liquidation number 2. The termination or conclusion of a business or real estate operation by converting its assets into cash. The proceeds from liquidation are distributed first to creditors in order of preference, and the remainder, if any, is allocated to the owners in proportion to their holdings. Liquidation premise. One of the premises under which the total assets of a business can be valued. The assumption that a company will cease operations. Under the liquidation premise, assets are valued as if sold piecemeal. Liquidation price. A forced price obtained without reasonable market exposure to find a purchaser. Liquidation value. The most probable price that a specified interest in property should bring under the following conditions. Number 1, consummation of a sale within a short time period. Number 2, the property is subjected to market conditions prevailing as of the date of valuation. Number 3, both the buyer and seller are acting prudently and knowledgeably. Page 133. Number 4, the seller is under extreme compulsion to sell. Number 5, the buyer is typically motivated. Number 6, both parties are acting in what they consider to be their best interests. Number 7, a normal marketing effort is not possible due to the brief exposure time. Number 8, payment will be made in cash in US dollars or the local currency, or in terms of financial arrangements comparable thereto. Number 9, the price represents the normal consideration for the property sold, unaffected by special or creative financing or sales concessions granted by anyone associated with the sale. This definition can also be modified to provide for valuation with specified financing terms. See also disposition value and distress sale and forced sale price. Liquidity. An entity's cash position based on assets that can be readily converted into cash. Liquidity risk. The difficulty of converting a real property investment into cash at market value in a reasonable time, also known as marketability risk. LIS, it's an acronym, capital LIS. C, Land Information System. LIS pendens. Notice of a pending lawsuit that will cloud free and clear title to a property unless resolved. Listing. Number 1, A written contract in which an owner employs a broker to sell his or her real property. Listing number 2. The act or process of making a property available for sale. Listing number 3. The process by which the assessor ensures that records for the taxable property identified during discovery are preserved with integrity, available for use in valuation activities, and ultimately reflected in the assessment roll. IAAO. Listing contract. A written agreement between an owner and a broker under which the broker attempts to sell the real property of the owner in return for a specified commission when a sale contract is signed. Littoral. Relating to the coast or shore of an ocean, sea, or lake. Littoral rights. The right of an owner of land abutting a body of water, such as a lake, pond, or ocean, to use and enjoy, but not alter, the shoreline. For example, in one jurisdiction, the owner of a property that abuts a tidal basin may own the land to the mean low water line or 100 rods below the mean high water level, whichever is less. In that jurisdiction, the land between the low and high water level is reserved for use by the public, by state law, and regulated by the state. See also riparian rights. Living trust. A trust that becomes effective during the lifetime of its creator, as distinguished from a trust under a will. Living unit. An apartment, condominium, house, or other residential property occupied by one household. See also household and housing stock. Load factor. A measurement of the relationship of common area to usable area, and therefore the quality and efficiency of building area layout, with higher load factors indicating a higher percentage of common area to overall rentable space than lower load factors, calculated by subtracting the amount of usable area from the rentable area and then dividing the difference by the usable area. Shows load factor equals rentable area minus usable area divided by usable area. Also known as add-on factor. See also R/U, which means rentable slash or divided by usable ratio. Loan commitment. A contractual agreement between a lender and a borrower where the lender agrees to make a specific loan and the borrower agrees to accept the loan terms. End of page.